Y'all, this is not just a breakup. This is a full-blown collapse caught in real time. What started as a picture-perfect romance between Brandon Ingram and GloRilla has just detonated into one of the messiest scandals the internet has seen this year, and the truth coming out is darker than anyone expected. Because behind the smiles, the public loyalty, the ride-or-die image, there were secrets. Dangerous ones. Now sources are claiming that while GloRilla was publicly standing by Brandon, she was allegedly living a double life with Yo Gotti, and it didn't just stop at a hidden affair. It allegedly led to a pregnancy. And the moment that rumor hit, everything shattered. We're talking about sudden wardrobe changes, suspicious videos, a body that didn't match the narrative, and fans connecting dots that were never meant to be seen. But here's where it gets explosive. Insiders claim Brandon didn't just find out, he was told directly. Confronted with a truth that flipped everything upside down. No warning. No damage control. Just betrayal. Raw and undeniable. And within moments, it was over. No engagement. No wedding. Just a brutal exit and a public humiliation that's still unfolding. But the real shock? Yo Gotti is allegedly stepping forward, claiming the baby. And if that's true, then this isn't just cheating. This is calculated, strategic, devastating. And now, with Angela Simmons throwing cryptic shade into the chaos, one question is tearing through the internet. Was this love, or was this all a setup from the start?
To the song, and well, let's just say that she looked very breakup.
Y'all thought that opening was shocking? That was just the surface. What's coming next is where everything starts to unravel. Because before the alleged pregnancy, before the whispers, before the internet even caught a scent of what was really going on, GloRilla was playing her role perfectly. She wasn't just seen with Brandon Ingram, she was standing on him. Publicly. Loudly. Changing lyrics in her performances, moving different, speaking like a woman who had already claimed her future. To the outside world, it looked solid. Calculated. Almost too perfect. And that's exactly why nobody questioned it. But behind that image, something didn't sit right. Because while Brandon was being presented as the one, Yo Gotti was moving in ways that didn't match a simple label boss relationship. This wasn't just mentorship. This wasn't just business. This was personal. We're talking about gifts that don't make sense on paper. A luxury Maybach, not subtle, not quiet, loud, expensive, intentional. Then a $65,000 diamond watch, placed on her wrist like a statement. Not for the public, but for whoever was paying attention. And people were paying attention. Because Yo Gotti wasn't moving like a CEO investing in talent. He was moving like a man invested in her. Showing up to events. Standing too close. Celebrating her like it meant more than music. And that's when the whispers started. At first it was small. Comments. Speculation. Fans noticing patterns that didn't align. Why her? Why this level of attention? Why did it feel like something was being hidden in plain sight? Then came the shift. Suddenly, GloRilla's appearance changed. The tight fits disappeared. The confident, body-showing looks she was known for? Gone. Replaced with oversized outfits, layered looks, anything that could blur the frame. And that's when the internet locked in. Because when someone who built their image on confidence suddenly starts covering up, people don't ignore that. Then came the video. No announcement. No statement. Just a clip, her dancing, smiling, but her body telling a completely different story. Subtle to some, obvious to others. And within hours, the comments exploded. Wait, is she pregnant? Why is she hiding it? Something's not adding up. And just like that, the narrative cracked open. But the real tension wasn't online. It was behind closed doors.
Did it? He said do that one, did it? Hey! He didn't do that one, did it, got it? Hey! Stop playing! What, bitch, I'm Maybach shouting now. Home, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Because while fans were piecing things together from the outside, insiders are claiming that pressure was building internally. Conversations were happening. Questions were being asked. And GloRilla? She allegedly wanted control of the situation before it spiraled. Sources say she started pushing for something serious. Fast. Marriage talks. Commitment. A ring before the rumors turned into confirmation. Before the timeline exposed itself. Because if there was a baby coming, she didn't want to be seen as just another story. She wanted security. She wanted a title. She wanted Brandon to make it official. But what she didn't expect was everything collapsing before she could lock it in. Because somewhere in the middle of all this, the truth didn't just leak. It reached Brandon directly. And once it did, there was no coming back. And this is where everything stops being rumors and starts turning into damage control. Because according to multiple insiders, Brandon Ingram didn't just hear whispers, he was confronted with something far more direct. No vague screenshots. No fan theories. This was personal, immediate, and impossible to ignore. The kind of information that doesn't leave room for denial. We're talking about a moment where everything he thought was real suddenly felt staged. Every public appearance, every lyric change, every show of loyalty, now under a completely different light. And at the center of it all, Yo Gotti. Because what's being alleged isn't just that he was involved, it's that he was done being hidden. Done playing the background. Done watching from the sidelines while another man stood in front of a situation he may have helped create. So what did he allegedly do? He stepped forward. Not quietly. Not indirectly. Directly. Sources claim Yo Gotti made it clear that whatever was going on behind the scenes wasn't just casual. This wasn't a one-time situation. This was ongoing. Repeated. Deep enough to create consequences that couldn't be covered up anymore. And that's when the timeline shattered. Because suddenly, everything started overlapping. The gifts, the appearances, the late-night rumors, the sudden image change. It all started aligning into one story. And for Brandon, that story didn't include him the way he thought it did. Imagine finding out that while you were being publicly claimed, there was another reality playing out at the exact same time. One where loyalty wasn't what it seemed. One where trust was being split between two worlds. That's not confusion. That's betrayal. And insiders say his reaction wasn't explosive, it was cold, calculated, final. No drawn-out arguments. No public scenes. Just a decision. Immediate and irreversible.
He walked away. Just like that.
And in doing so, he didn't just end a relationship. He left GloRilla standing in the middle of a storm she could no longer control. Because the second Brandon stepped back, the narrative shifted. Now it wasn't about a couple.
It was about a scandal.
And at the center of it was a question nobody could answer cleanly. Who's the father? Because while GloRilla was allegedly trying to hold onto what was left of the situation, trying to stabilize the story before it fully collapsed, Yo Gotti's name kept getting louder, stronger, more direct. Claims started surfacing that he wasn't just involved, he was claiming responsibility. That the baby, the one everyone was speculating about, might actually be his. And if that's true, then everything changes. Because now this isn't just about cheating. This is about timing, intent, strategy. Because if one man believes he's building a future, while another is already part of a hidden reality, then someone knew more than they were saying. And that's where it gets uncomfortable. Because whispers began suggesting that this wasn't just messy, it was calculated. That while one relationship was being built publicly, another was being maintained privately. That decisions were being made not just emotionally, but strategically. And now, with everything unraveling at once, there's no clean way out. Because every move is being watched. Every silence is being questioned. And every past moment is being replayed with new meaning. But just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get more complicated, another name re-entered the picture. Quiet at first, then undeniable. Angela Simmons.
And what she did next
didn't add noise. It added weight. And just when it seemed like the situation had reached its breaking point, Angela Simmons re-entered the narrative, not with a statement, not with an interview, but with silence that spoke louder than anything else. Because Angela didn't need to explain anything. Her history with Yo Gotti already told its own story. This was a man who had publicly pursued her for years. A man who made it known loudly that she was the one. He showed her off, praised her, positioned their relationship like something real, something grounded. And she believed it. She stood beside him, supported him, even described him as someone who inspired her, someone who made her better. But while that image was being built in public, something else was unfolding in private. Because if the rumors are even partially true, then while Yo Gotti was building a future with Angela, he was also creating a completely separate reality with GloRilla. And not just her. Multiple whispers. Different cities. Quiet appearances that didn't make headlines, but left trails. Enough for people close to the situation to start noticing patterns that didn't add up. Angela wasn't loud about it. She didn't go online. She didn't create a scene. But insiders say she saw the shift. The late responses. The energy changes. The subtle distance that only shows up when someone's attention is somewhere else. And then came the confirmation. Not necessarily a single moment, but a series of realizations that led to one decision. She walked away. No drama. No public breakdown. Just a quiet exit from a situation that no longer made sense. And now, fast forward to the present, everything she may have suspected is exploding in real time. Because as Brandon Ingram steps away and Yo Gotti's alleged claims about the baby grow louder, Angela's past with him suddenly becomes part of the bigger picture. Which is why that one post, "I want what wants me in life, what flows, flows, what goes, goes," didn't feel random. It felt targeted, calculated, like someone who already knew how this story ends. And that's what makes this entire situation heavier than just gossip. Because now, it's not just about who cheated or who left. It's about how long this was happening without anyone realizing the full scope. Think about it. A public relationship that looked solid, a private connection that kept escalating, luxury gifts that blurred professional lines, a sudden shift in behavior, a possible pregnancy. And 3 people, all connected to the same timeline but living completely different versions of it. That's not coincidence. That's overlap. And overlap creates casualties. Right now, GloRilla is at the center of it all, facing questions she can't fully answer without confirming something bigger. Every move she makes is being analyzed. Every post, every appearance dissected. Because the internet isn't just watching anymore. It's waiting. Waiting for confirmation. Waiting for denial. Waiting for one of them to finally break the silence. But here's the reality no one is saying out loud. Even if the truth comes out, it may not fix anything. Because reputations have already shifted. Perceptions have already changed. And the damage? That's already done. And somewhere in the middle of all this is a question that refuses to go away. Not just who the father is, but who knew the truth first and chose to stay silent anyway. And now everything is hanging by a thread. Because the silence, it's getting louder. No clear denial. No clean explanation. Just tension building with every passing hour while the internet keeps digging deeper, connecting dots that were never meant to connect. And the more people look, the worse it gets. GloRilla is no longer just facing rumors. She's standing in the middle of a narrative that's spiraling out of control. Every move she makes now feels calculated. Every appearance raises more questions than answers. And the biggest one still remains untouched. If the baby isn't Brandon Ingram's, then why was he being positioned as the future? And if Yo Gotti is telling the truth, then how long has this really been going on behind the scenes? Because this doesn't look accidental anymore. It looks planned. It looks like timelines were crossed, stories were managed, and emotions were used as leverage until everything finally collapsed at once. And now, there's no controlling it. No rewriting it. No escaping it. Meanwhile, Angela Simmons already walked away before the explosion, and that alone is raising even more suspicions about what she might have known long before the public caught on. This isn't just messy. This is a reputational breakdown happening in real time. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. The truth is already out there, just not fully spoken yet. So the real question is no longer what happened. It's who's going to break first and say it out loud. Because when that happens, this entire story won't just go viral. It will detonate.